Hey everybody, it's me, Alex Garcia, aka The COG, coming at you as always from comicbookclique.com to bring it, you know what time it is. It's the best day of the week, Wednesday, brand new comic book day. We got another good week of comics. Very light week though. This is a fifth week. So in the comic book world, the fifth week usually does not involve a lot of comics. DC put out nothing for me this week. Honestly, kind of happy about it because I kind of needed a light week. The last bunch of weeks have been heavy week after heavy week. So I'm kind of happy to take a little break, get a little reprieve, and gear back up for next week because next week is going to be another big week. But let's get right into it. Let's start off from Marvel with a book that is just so wacky, but I'm really enjoying it. We got Doomquest number 3 by Ryan North and Francisco Mobili on the art. This book is just so wild. It's Doctor Doom being forced to time travel, go through these crazy events in history. First he was with the Titanic. In this issue, he takes the place of George Washington and makes the American Revolution truly revolutionary. Does things that are just insane. Only a madman could come up with these ideas to ensure that he is where he wants to be in history. And, it's Doom being Doom. He doesn't want to mess with the time stream too much, but he also wants to set up Latveria to be at the top when all is said and done, which is very interesting. The guy, as selfish as he is, he's also a countryman, right? He's trying to build up his country and history. Very interesting. It's Marvel's putting out tons and tons of Doctor Doom stuff right now, gearing up for Doomsday at the end of the year. This is just a fun Doctor Doom book. What's it going to tell by the end of it? I don't know. The cliffhanger at the end seems that it's going to shift in a more serious direction. Something interesting happens at the end for the next issue. I'm looking forward to it. I'm loving these crazy covers. And I'm really liking this wacky book. May not be for everybody, but right now, if you're loving Doctor Doom, there's Doctor Doom out there for you and everybody. Doomquest number 3. Let's jump over to the X-Men. X-Men number 34 by Jed MacKay and Greg Land as the guest artist. This was a nice little one and done issue featuring our boy Kane Marco, aka the Juggernaut. Now, something happens in a small town in Pennsylvania where a statue for Bolivar Trask, the inventor of the Sentinel, is erected. And Juggernaut shows up and decides, hey, I'm going to do something to take care of this statue, which is, it's all about celebrating this person who commits genocide right against mutants, but humans are celebrating him. This issue kind of hits it on the head with all the contrast that it happens in American history, where one side might celebrate a statue and another side can go, that ain't what that's there for. So very interesting take, nice little one and done, kind of putting history out there while at the same time featuring Juggernaut at the center of the story, where he's trying to figure out his place on the X-Men. He's kind of going through this inner turmoil about what it is that he represents on the X-Men, because he's not a mutant. So he's a human and he's trying to redeem himself. He acknowledges the fact that he needs someone else to be his conscience, and he acknowledges that he needs Cyclops in that role. He challenges himself. He's challenging everybody who's even in his face about what it is that he wants to accomplish. It's very interesting, very heart-touching moments throughout the issue, especially at the end when the X-Men do come around and go, hey, look, we thought this mission was going to be easier, but, the parameters change. So I really like that. I'm wondering if we're going to come back to this, because right after this now begins the next crossover with X-Men and Fantastic Four called DNX. So we'll see if we come back to this, but I am looking forward to this crossover because we're going to be moving that plot along with the Evil Beast. Really liking that. Can't wait to see where it goes. X-Men is back on track, and I really like one and done issues whenever they pop up. Cool stuff. Check out The Spectacular Spider-Man, Brand New Day. Kind of sounds like a movie that's coming out in a couple days. A movie that's getting a lot of good reviews and a lot of good hype. I cannot wait. But this book was okay, right? Dan Slott comes back to Spider-Man to do a fun little story. Marcus Toe on the art. here we have, instead in that initial Brand New Day timeline where Peter's first having to deal with Mr. Negative, and here this thing called the Lexicon is made available, and it kind of depicts, or it will help whoever wants to become the next thing or grant wishes, kind of thing. It's okay. Mr. Negative takes control of. We've seen he's taking control of Frank, and he uses him to get this thingamabob, this lexicon, and he's using it to progress his plot. It's okay. Like I said, it's another Spider-Man book. It's cool to see Dan Slott back in the driver's seat with Spider-Man, but it's like, where is this going? What does this mean? I picked it up because I was happy to see Dan Slott writing Spider-Man again. I don't know. But if you really like Mr. Negative and you're excited for that Brand New Day title, cool stuff. It doesn't need to be read, only if you're the biggest Spider-Man fan. Let's jump over to Reborn, Ultimate Impact, number 3. Chris Condon and Stefano Caselli on the art. I was really, really liking this book. Issue 1 was great. Issue 2 was fun. But now issue 3 just feels like we're spinning our wheels, right? The origin boxes are now in the 616. A bunch of different characters have gotten them. We don't see any of the characters from previous issues in this one. We got Miles Morales looking for Iron Man to get his help with the whole situation. We got Hostilicus, still coming over from the Negative Zone. He's trying to figure out his role now, looking for these origin boxes, or trying to figure out what it is that he wants in the regular world. And more people are finding these origin boxes and exposing these new powers that they're getting. And that's really it. And then at the end, we'll kind of get a little bit of a cliffhanger, but I'm wondering if we're going to even touch on the cliffhanger in the next issue. This needs to move along. If we want this Ultimate Universe to still matter and keep us still interested, things need to happen, because nothing really happened in this issue. Sorry. Let's head over to Dynamite. Thundarr, the Barbarian, number 6. Jason Aaron and Cooper Ball. Guys, I love this book. I love Thundarr. So happy with this book, but I'm so not happy to see it go. This is the last issue of this current series. I hope it comes back, but if it doesn't, Jason Aaron and Cooper Ball did a great issue here. They conclude their arc, and they conclude Thundarr's story for the most part. They give him a nice little ending. It was heart-touching, something we never got to see in the cartoon that I love so much. That cartoon only lasted 21 episodes. It deserved more. It deserved more issues, but I guess this is what Dynamite's doing with it for the time being. Please bring it back. Give us a season 2. The artwork was great. Seeing Oogla do his thing, seeing the 2 Thundarrs, because we got some time travel going on. That's quickly resolved. Doing their thing, taking on wizards. Ariel smacking people around. Such a fun issue, such a fun series. Pick up the back issues, guys, if you love Thundarr as much as I do. So much fun to see these characters back on the page. And let's head over to the Unnamed Universe. We have Geiger, number 24, Jeff Johns and Gary Frank. And we finally got Junkyard Joe back. He was like in a robotic coma for a long time. In the meantime, Geiger, back from his time travel escapades, is captured by the bad guys, so to speak. It turns out these guys are trying to take care of the United States, supposedly, but the president of the new United States, as well as his underlings, are not so good. Guys, this book is so good, and Gary Frank just keeps doing his thing on this book. It's so good. If you're not reading the Unnamed Universe, you are missing out. Look at the art on this book. Junkyard Joe just goes ham this issue. We find out a lot more details about his handler, about the army that they're trying to build up, and we finally get to see Geiger go face to face with the new president of this world. Next issue is going to be a big blockbuster issue, issue number 25. Can't wait for it. It's going to be big. Gary Frank's art has just been killing it. Can't wait to see it, and you guys definitely need to catch up on the Unnamed Universe. You're missing out if you're not collecting this. And we got a lot of good news that just came out of San Diego Comic-Con about where this whole series and the rest of the Unnamed Universe is going. So don't miss out on catching up. And last but not least, let's check out Mad Cave, where we have Speed Racer Tales from the Road. This is their like anthology book that they come out with every now and again that fills out the universe of Speed Racer. In this, we have a plethora of creators. We have Jim McCann, Alessio Zono, Jordan Morris, Francesco Schivonelli, Lorenzo Bush. There's 3 short stories in this book. One that features probably maybe a potential villain to come around. The second story has Sparky, Speed's mechanic, in it. And then the last story was kind of like, a little Speed story with some of his buddies. I'm liking the world of Speed Racer. It was a light week. Normally I don't pick these up, but I picked this one up. That's why maybe I'm a little lost with some of the characters that are mentioned in it. I dug it. If you're liking the world of Speed Racer, I would say pick it up if it's a light week for you also. The second story I really liked about Sparky, the mechanic for Speed. Nice heart-touching story there. But the other 2 stories I was like, they're fun little, flesh out the world stories. Speed Racer, Tales from the Road. But can't wait for the main Speed Racer book to come back. And that's what I picked up here for the week, guys. Nice light week. Can't wait for next week, because next week's going to have a lot of big books, a lot of continuing of stories. Can't wait for it. But in the meantime, guys, make sure you're following us everywhere you can on our Facebook, on our X, on our Instagram, here on YouTube. Make sure if you want to help contribute and keep the lights on, keep these subscriptions getting paid, help me pick up more books, check out our Patreon at CBC Clubhouse on patreon.com. You can always help out for, as I always say, for less than a cup of coffee a month. These cups of coffee are getting real expensive, but we're not that expensive. So you can help us out. Throw a little money in our pot so we can keep delivering the goods to you guys. Make sure you're checking out our Facebook and our Instagram. We have all the news coming at you from San Diego Comic-Con, as well as the news of the upcoming, like I said, mentioned earlier, Spider-Man Brand New Day coming out in a couple days. I will be there to see it and hopefully throw out a little review. Make sure you're checking out all our newest interviews with our major discourse. The Don is putting those out like crazy. We just got the newest one out with Kenny Porter. Great guy, great talking to about his work, Power Rangers and everything. A lot of fun stuff going on here, guys. As always, don't forget our sister station, Dirt Sheet Radio, if you want to know all things about wrestling, ROH, AEW, WWE, and everything else in the wrestling world. Make sure you're checking them out. And don't forget to check out comicbookclique.com, where you can find even more detailed reviews from our plethora of writers who are reviewing these books, giving us really, really long-form detailed reviews at comicbookclique.com, so don't miss out on those reviews. Guys, thank you as always for giving me your time and your attention. Really, really appreciate it. And don't forget to keep print alive and read more comics. Until later.